Welcome to Blog21c. Research about expended fast food restaurants. From the start, they started to show up all over America during the 1950s. Drive-through eateries have drastically changed the food culture. The once intricate meal has now been moved to the creation line and can be eaten on demand practically the entire day, consistently. While this straightforward reception of food has its advantages, cost, investment, funds, and productivity, to give a couple of models, your omnipresent presence has extraordinarily added to expanding our country's utilization of garbage and undesirable suppers. Today, modest eating regimens make up 11% of grown-up energy consumption in the United States and are trapped in the developing snare of stoutness, diabetes, and coronary illness. A few audit thinking back on the advancement of modest weight control plans in the course of the most recent 30 years might assist with clarifying why these clinical issues have become so typical. In a paper distributed in the Journal of the Academy of Nutrition and Dietetics, examiners from Boston University and Tufts University report that supper smothered additional calories and salt throughout an extensive stretch of time. The longest and generally modern gander at the low-calorie admission and supplemental beauty care products, a time of the decade, which was prompted any time, as per Megan McCrory, head of examination, learns at Booth College of Health and Rehabilitation Sciences. Sargent. School and lead maker on paper. Experts have investigated menu things from 10 distinctive driving joints, which incorporate top decisions like McDonald's, Dairy Queen, and KFC. Utilizing three express years, 1986, 1991, and 2016, as a not really set in stone how fragment size, power content, and extra profiles shifted over the direction of 30 years. To do as such, they are easily expected to gather, sort, and dismantle 1,787 menu things, information they gathered from eatery destinations or in straightforward duplicates of the fast food guide. At whatever point they altered their data, McCrory said that it expected to address the manner by which not every one of the names of items or the signs of force were predicted in all bistros and time spans. They assembled objects into three classes: sections, sides, and cakes. Somewhere close to 1986 and 2016, McCrory says not really settled that the quantity of things introduced in store menus has developed by a surprising 226%, a normal of 22.9 things every year. Close to the menu upgrades, they saw that parts and calories were additionally expanded. Desserts are recharged in size by a normal of 62 calories each decade, an amazing 200 calories over a time of 30 years. As of now, members get a normal of 30 for every 10 calories, around 100 calories all things considered. Sides didn't develop to calories, yet like courses and treats, there was simply an excessive amount of salt. McCrory says that the low sodium content of food, large numbers of which can build pulse and hazard of coronary illness, has been dependably high after some time. Considering a 2,000-calorie diet each day, modest food sources consistently increment the pace of everyday sodium consumption, 4.6% creeping, 3.9% after effects, and 1.2% desserts, generally consistently. Calcium and iron, McCrory says, can fabricate bone mass and decrease pallor, comparably to expanded eating regimens over the long run, particularly in cakes. On normal every decade, day-by-day calcium admission expanded by 3.9% in gatherings and day-by-day iron admission by 1.4%. Nonetheless, McCrory says the news ought not be viewed as the most incredible on the planet. While these increments appear to be engaging, individuals ought not consume with modest food sources to get more calcium and iron in their eating regimen as a result of the great calories and sodium they are presented to, McCrory said. While this review, financed by the U.S. branch of agriculture, gives genuinely necessary knowledge into the continuous changes that have been made in reasonable food lately, McCrory says new examinations ought to go further. That ought to really be finished. As per the National Center for Health Statistics, 36.6% of U.S. grown-ups wear out reasonable food on a specific day, and McCrory says it's the ideal opportunity for them to have better ways of perusing, while at the same time eating at those bistros. It doesn't seem as though modest food is vanishing at any point in the near future, McCrory said. I think we need more examination into what projects will assist individuals with settling on better choices in the best eateries and find various choices for eating modest food anyplace. Thank you for watching.